The newspaper can date back to around 59 BC, during Julius Caesar's reign, when the Roman Empire had a news publication called the Acta Duarna. The newspapers we have today come from the Corantos, which are one-page sheets about specific events and were printed during the 17th century in Europe. Print shops led to the development of what was called a broadsheet, which was a single sheet with announcements or accounts of events. In America, the first newspaper appeared in Boston in 1690, entitled Public Occurrences, both foreign and domestic. The Industrial Revolution greatly affected newspapers. As the printing press evolved, it started a boom in the newspaper industry, allowing newspapers to be produced faster, have more content, and be inexpensive for people who bought them. At the turn of the 19th century, the penny press was created in New York, which created news that was accessible to the middle class for a reasonable price. Horace Greeley's New York Tribune helped establish the newspaper as a powerful means of social action through its issue-related reporting. In 1883, Hungarian immigrant Joseph Pulitzer bought the New York World and pioneered yellow journalism. Newspapers began to become newspaper chains because of the competition from magazines, radio, and television. Today, newspapers have to adapt because of the creation of the internet.
Do I read newspapers? Me personally, I do not read newspapers. I think that the internet is a much better place to get information.
With regards to newspapers, read them periodically nowadays, not as much as I used to growing up in high school and college. That was obviously where we got our information. That was the vehicle. Back in the 80s and early 90s, we didn't have access to computers, internet. So I would get 2 papers a day, I think the Inquirer or the Daily News, to read up on information regarding to what's going on in the world. Nowadays, everything's more instant gratification, or you can be able to get it on your cell phone, or the internet, or the newscast nowadays, so we don't need to have access to the newspapers.
Mass media has always played an extremely important role in all of people's lives. Until recently, newspapers have been the main source of the latest news in the modern world. Because of the increasing use of the internet, newspapers are experiencing a decline of popularity. To combat this, newspapers are embracing the web and mobile devices. Rather than thinking of themselves as being in the print industry, they now consider themselves as part of the overall media industry. Even though the overall popularity of newspapers have decreased, newspapers are still valuable.